This is Justin AMZN on Monday, March 19th, 2018, with a look at Amazon with an incredible bearish retest gap. That was actually pretty surprising on the 5-minute what happened. So this is the daily, and we were gapping down. We had a lot of bearish candles on the way up here with some gaps. There's a retest gap here, and then here, and then here, and then this one, and things have been coming back down ever since. Looking like it came back down into old resistance, potentially new support. Let's see what happens over the next few days. Zooming into the 5-minute, we had the triangle a few days back, actually last week. We had the move Thursday that came down and looked like it would bounce, bounced again, and then Friday looked like it was bouncing again, and then actually rolled over through that, and then after the weekend, some more sell-off. So we entered today with a bearish retest gap. This was the pre-market, pretty sideways, a little bit of a curve in here, and it looked like it would just go, this S curve sort of shape. Looks like it would go. It did very quickly move down and then put in that huge upper wick candle, and looked like, okay, maybe that could be the end. I wasn't actually watching at this point. But then to see that candle taken out with the high, another one here, the high here was 1556.90, and the high on this open candle was 1556.89. So a penny higher, just a penny. Doesn't seem like it's that much. But then, a couple more candles here, sideways, move down and then back up, 30 minutes of candles, 6 bullish candles. You can still count this one, which had very similar open and close, identical open and close. So that was definitely a doji with the same open and close, very indecisive candle there. And it's like, okay, after this it could really go either way, go bullish above the high or bearish below that low on that candle or these candles here. You get into a little bit of pre-market support at 1558.70 here. I don't know if that's actually a real wick on the pre-market. There was 2,206 shares traded on that candle, so probably some obscure data point here, unless somebody actually got filled way up here, which would have been rough on the open and the rest of the move. So this was almost 9 o'clock. I took a glance at it around here. I think I saw it here. It's like, oh man, I think I saw it right here at 9:05. It's like, that looks like it's gonna go down. And I was looking at the options, seeing, okay, what could I get into? Going bearish, and then this candle formed. And after these 6 bullish candles, or at least positive, bullishest candles after that one, and then this, it's like something's not right with that kind of candle. That's a buying candle. It's still bearish, but it put in similar lows to, this candle through here. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wait. And what happened next is it came right back up, and now this looks like a Morningstar reversal. Same highs here, still, got all these wicks, looks like it's going to sell. And then what happens? It goes sideways and then breaks out. And it was doing this, and I had a meeting to jump into. And so I wasn't watching this anymore. I saw that happen. It's like, okay, maybe we're bullish on Amazon today. And took out that high. Took out the high in that price. We're up into the 1560s. Okay, there it goes. You can see this incredible pattern, this wedge or triangle with a flat top. It broke out. Look for a retest. Then go bullish. What do we get up here? Small bearish candle. And then we get another high wave doji and decision, and then we break down big, break down right back into this. So this could be a retest, of this price level in here, and we'll go a couple more candles, and then it's like, oh, we're not bouncing. No, we are definitely bearish. But the interesting thing is here, after these candles, if you had set a trigger to go bearish below and a stop up here, you would have been stopped out. Anyone who saw this breaking out, look to get on the retest, come back down below here and stop down here, you look like you're about to get stopped out. The open and the high are a penny apart, and the low and the close are 3 cents apart. This was nearly a Marbozu on a 5-minute, and just moved massively. And again, all this, I was in a meeting, was not able to trade. And then, sorry, that candle, looking like it's going to bounce, taking out the low from this candle. Okay, either go bearish below it and maybe a stop way up here, or here at 1554, and the next candle just obliterates it. What's interesting is it did go sideways a little bit, came back up, sideways, inside candle, still sideways, and then come back down. So I have the price in here at 1540, and we'll just go a few more into the day. So we came all the way down into the 1525 range. We had another line at 1528. Any of this would have been incredible, and it's just a matter of identifying, okay, where would you have been getting in? I mean, on any of these moves, you're looking for something to bounce. You could get in above, stop below, and then it doesn't happen. It breaks that down. So, okay, reverse that. Either get in bearish on a retest of this, where you would have, just reverse your trade. This probably would not have gotten you triggered in unless you were way down below. Maybe these, these lows here. Then it would have retested slightly from there to there. Got it in here with a stop up here. Or, with this candle, thinking, okay, if it's going to break down, here's a place to do it. Let's get in bearish here with a stop up here or stop up here. Either one of those, maybe peel off some profits around 1540 and then hang on and take off some more at the next line of support. That would have been a great trade. We go through the rest of the day here, and it looks like we put in a double bottom, and maybe we're going to go and bounce, but then it comes back down. We don't actually get back down to the 1528 price. We do actually come back up to the 1540 and just danced right on the 1540 right here for a couple candles. And that would have been a great place to, maybe set up a bullish. Like, oh, we put in this low, stayed above it, maybe this larger double bottom here. See what's going to happen if that's the retest, and then into the rest of the day, it doesn't go bullish. So a lot of people trapped on this candle, another indecision candle, and that just comes back down. Similar lows as it put in through here, and just kind of there's a couple big things you could have taken. If you're looking for a buy down in this area, to buy that back off the bounce into the high and make some profit here. And then if you had done what I was looking at, maybe you got stopped out here, maybe you switched directions, went bullish here, got stopped out again. And then after putting some of these larger candles, it's like, okay, it's going bearish like everything else. Get in bearish, take some profits, make back what maybe you lost on these couple trades. And then, once you hit your support down here, again, this candle, this indecisive candle, get in either going bullish right above it or a retest into that range, and could have bought on this candle bullish up into the next resistance. I mean, these lines played out before, they're playing out again. This is just an interesting pattern here, that it looked like a short-term retest. This could have been a longer retest, but it never got back above close above this candle with let's see, the shaved open and higher 1543 shaved top candle, and then I think another one open and high, no, 2 cents. Anyway, all right, so this is the 5-minute zoomed out. We ended up pretty much staying above the 1528 price the rest of the day. Came and made similar lows all through here, and then actually rallied into the close. And after the close, it looked like it was coming back down. So aftermarket, we'll see where tomorrow opens up, if we're staying above one of these lines, or maybe we come back into this range and chop around a little more in the day, or even pull back a little further. You have yet to see what Amazon's doing. We can go back and take a look at, zoom in after this, and then we'll zoom out and look at the options. All right, so I was looking at the around here on this candle. So that candle was playing out at 9:10. I was looking at the 1540 put expiring this week, so the one on the left here. I was looking, okay, maybe I'll get in on a pullback, so it comes back up a little bit higher into this candle's range for like 1250 and a stop at 1150. And had I done that, that's when I said that candle just didn't look right after these 6 bullish candles. That looked like, okay, we're not rolling over yet. We're gonna bounce a little more, or bounce a whole lot more. But had I gotten in with 1250, maybe we would have gotten filled on this candle or this one. No, not quite on that one. Maybe this candle, or obviously gotten filled on this candle and would have been stopped out immediately as it pulled back to the, would have been filled at 1250, or maybe 1225. Maybe would have given me a better fill. But with a stop down at 1150, would have been stopped out. The low here was 10. After that, it actually bounced, but I would have been stopped out. And that's what's just really interesting, is it would have whipsawed me on a bearish rollover, looking for it to just roll over and die, and it had a little more bullish life in it. So, okay, after this plays out, really this candle breaking down, the price on that one would have been, looks like 1218 is what someone was buying there, volume of 1. So then maybe this candle got in on this one. So let's say you got in at 13, the high, with a stop at 12, and it never touched it again. Your stop may have been a little wider. Maybe you're looking at a different option a little further away. Right now, as it is, it's a Monday, so you're looking at Friday expiration, and you're $15 away. That's not too bad. So $15 away from your strike, I should say. Anyway, had you bought on this candle, the high there would have been 13, or had you waited for this candle? Sorry, I'm looking up here, but I'm holding my cursor over the put. Where you saw this candle and got in on any of these next 3 when it retested into that range with a stop above it, that would have been, let's see, that would have been a breakout in this candle on the put. So maybe you bought at, let's see, maybe 17. You would have had a much wider stop, or waited for a retest into the range. Then you're probably getting in anywhere from, maybe 15 by 14, maybe 15 by 13, something like that, $200 R, something like that. You could have gotten in for anywhere that this candle had its option price. So the high and the low there are high of 14.85, low of 14. You came back into that range on these 2 candles, so you could have been buying there, and then that just sailed. It just, that's where it actually broke out. It could have taken some profits here. That would have been locking in some gains around 1950, 20, something like that. So up from, what did I say, 13, 14? What was it, 14? So 14 up to 20. I mean, that's even with a $200 R, that's 3R in a matter of half an hour. So you're right there into on a new low on the day. Great place to take some profits, even taking, peeling a little bit off here. Would have made a little bit, and then would have held on to some more, knowing that our next line is down here. I mean, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles later of bearish, just straight bearish move, this option went up tremendously, actually pretty much doubled, nearly doubled. Yeah, doubled over the course of like 45, 50 minutes. From the 14 low here up to the 29.42 high. So, that's what happens when you go that much further in the money, being the 1540 strike, and on such a move like this. So then you jump over and see, okay, could we have made something bullish? This would have been just chop. Sorry, I'm just looking at the option here. So this candle, this would have been, so I'm looking at the 1550 call expiring this Friday. That was, maybe you got, no, that's not, oh, it's not showing up the right place. Okay, this candle range is 1390 through 1450, and then this one comes back down to 14. So maybe you could have bought in this candle's range with a bounce, but you would have had to know, that it was going to bounce here, and know that it was going to push through this one. So it's like just this range here, from what we had previous weeks is playing out again, but there's nothing to say, okay, it's going to actually hold or it's going to break or whatever. If you had played it, you could have gotten in on this candle. Let's say you got a bad fill and you got filled at 1472, and then you could have flipped it back out, when it came up back into that resistance, and that would have been, maybe 1650. So, maybe if you had a $100 risk, maybe you made 2R on just this short move, maybe, but you would have had to know, okay, get out here. So it just would have been a quick move back up, and then it seemed like it was staying underneath this exponential moving average, forming a bit of a triangle, and it started to break out, and they came right back into it. And even with the squeeze didn't push it higher. So there's a lot of resistance here that was the same price range as the lows from the open, and some support here that got broken. So it would make sense that this level on the day actually played out as resistance. And even into the close, we were battling with that. It looked like it closed above it, but still, this range, we're still below it. And that's what we've seen in the 5 minutes. We get into these areas, and zoom back in on this. So we get in these areas that, okay, here is this resistance, we break down. Okay, here's a new resistance, we break down. I don't have that one drawn, it's smaller. But you can go back and watch the other videos to see how things played out. So intraday, even pre-market, okay, we broke down, came up, came back down to make a new low, it bounced again. It's some of these levels, they're just playing out for pre-market. We did actually break through this one, and that's what I think tricked some folks that would have tricked me. It would have it was just looking at the candles to know, okay, I'm going to wait instead of getting in and getting stopped out right away. And zoom back in on this day. Actually, I'll get real tight in here on the day itself, and just seeing these moves here. This old, and I forgot to look back at what day that was. So let me switch over to hourly. Yeah, so the prices that we're dancing around with today are the previous all-time highs, pre-market all-time highs, and then the actual all-time high here on the day, and that's when we came back to fight. So we broke through it here, retested back down to it, the 1514 price, came back up, came back down here, making all-time highs, day after day after day on the way up. Now we've just got this, we just made these quick moves up, pull back, up, pull back, up, but not quite as much, and just rolled over. And you see this curvature, like, okay, we don't want the sell-off. We still want to stay here. Oh no, we're going down. And even how we've got this curve aftermarket rolling back down, right back into the 1514 price. So on a bigger picture, I'm sure you could see, this could look like a shoulder, a large head. Maybe we come back down a little further. I don't know that we're coming back into the 1400s. It'd be a great place to see 1514 because that was so strong. In here, it acted as a breakout point and retest, short-term retest, larger retest. I would not be surprised if we continue this rollover tomorrow, come down into the 1514, and have some real competition to bounce there or not. We had this inverted head and shoulders play out here with somewhat of a neckline on an angle, and if you draw it this way, you get somewhat of a retest of that neckline. If you draw it straight horizontally, you've got a small shoulder here, then this move, and then another shoulder here, and then a go, and your line would have been around 1508 or so, a straight neckline kind of thing. But anyway, the prices that we're interacting down here are probably the next target to come back down to. And then, I mean, you could still have some resistance, come back up at any of these levels. The 1528 could work again. The 1540 could work again. But we'll just see what the market overall is doing. This looks like there's potential to go down further, but if it breaks out, breaks bullish, we want it to definitely hold some of these levels like the 1540 and 1528 on a bigger picture. That's where you want to have your stops. But zoomed in on a 5, go with the momentum. Right now it's been short-term bearish, but I mean some quick trades, or could actually turn and go bullish again. The correction we had from this level around 1528 down to 1460, it's around 70 points. We've had more than that already here, from 16, 17 all the way down into the 1520s. So much larger, maybe percentage wise it's similar, but this is where we had some move down here. Looked like we were bouncing on the day, and then we actually hooked like we're looking at now, came back down, made a new low, and then bounced from there. So that's what could happen tomorrow, is come down to the 1514, and that's where we bounce, put in a little lower low where we had some old support, and then start to bounce and see how things play out. But we'll see what happens the rest of this week. And I think, was there anything else in the options? No. I mean, if you had bought off of previous lows, let's see, the low on this call was 1224, and then low here was 12. So I mean, you could have bought a low on the option around 1250, the stop at 1150, and that would have been just a rally into the close. That was buying. Let's see, now we got to switch back to the 5 minute. There we go. So that was buying on any of these candles here, just thinking, okay, maybe it'll hold. But these lines or the intraday line was not as solid as the 1528 line. That we did just only touch once here, and then had an inside decision candle and then bounced. Anywhere in here relation to this indecision candle, and we stayed above that with our lows the rest of the day. That's what you could be looking for on this one and on this one, to buy in that level from that candle. That's how significant that was. So that would have been a low in here at 1225 and a low in here at 230. So let's go back to the calls. Let's see. Okay. Was that 1245? Yeah, a bit of a rally here, and then 230, a bit of a rally here. So would have been some good positions, good locations on the Amazon stock to be able to see, a place that you could buy with, even if you saw a lower wick. I mean, this candle, so I'm not zoomed in enough. Okay, this candle here at 1225 and this candle here at 230, very similar shaped candles with lower wicks. This one's about double. The wick is about the wick is about equal to the body, and this one, the wick is a little bit larger than the body, but both of these, the lows of barely into the 1520s, and this one right at 1530, right back into the indecision. Even this candle, you could count this one too. Any of these candles that came back into this indecision candle range, phenomenal places to buy. If you're looking for the 1528 price to buy, didn't happen. If you moved your entry up a little bit more into this range, you had a number of touches. You had 1, maybe 2. Well, we'll count those together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. So, if I hold the cursor here at 1530, 1532. So hold the cursor in here. You have a bunch of places you could have just bought that price and gotten out for a quick gain, or if you had been a little more conservative and wanted to get in, when it came back down to the high here, 1531.38, then there's, let's see, 1, can't tell if that, 2, 3, well, I guess, 4, 5. So maybe just that one is the one to skip. And, this one would have worked. This one would have worked. This one would not have gotten you all the way up to resistance. And then this one. So, 3 out of 4 of those bouncing in that area, and even this one to carry up a little bit higher into the close. Just great places to be buying. Look for the candles that you like at a good resistance or a good support. And make sure you know your direction. So today was the whipsaw day. If you got in bearish here, stopped out. We did this. If you were on bullish, got stopped out pretty quickly and just needed to wait a little longer. And it's okay to wait. It's okay not to trade. I had an order open on this candle. Didn't like how that candle closed. It was coming back into here. I didn't get filled yet. I'm like, I'm going to cancel this. It looks too bullish for an open on a bearish retest gap. And it just need to retest a little more. And just know your candles. That's what we've been looking at here, looking at how to trade this, looking at how things move, looking at the options, how the options prices are things to look at in here. So I hope this video was helpful. And this is Justin AMZN.